Yo, man.
Yo,
Open up, man.
what do you want, man?
My girl just caught me. I don't know how I let this happen.
You let her catch you? With who?
The girl next door, you know?
Say it wasn't you.
Alright.
Linda Tripp, man, she caught me red-handed, creeping with a young intern. Picture this, she talked with Monica about how I spent time with her. How could she forget that I had made her take in all this time? She was spilling beans, the FBI was listening. Nothing ever happened when she brought me that pizza, yet somehow they still got her under a subpoena. She was relocated so they knew I couldn't see her, but this is a situation that I got caught up in. Me and my wife knew just what to say. Hillary even said it's just a conspiracy. Never admit to a word when she say, and if she claims you, tell her it'd be no way. But they caught me hanging around her.
It wasn't me.
Even she had denied it.
It wasn't me.
I swear that I'm not a liar.
It wasn't me.
But they said that I tampered.
It wasn't me.
Tripp noticed we got closer.
It wasn't me.
Heard the words that I told her.
It wasn't me.
Caused my turn to go sour.
It wasn't me.
Got her impeached before it was over. Linda Tripp, man, she caught me red-handed, creeping with a young intern. Picture this, she talked with Monica about how I spent time with her. House of Representatives trying to fail to censor me. Why should they believe me when I told them it wasn't me? I denied everything when they showed evidence, said my testimony was false and perjurious, but the Supreme Court had failed to convict. Instead, they ruled me in civil contempt. Questions from the media came in really fast. If I had done, they were really quick to ask. Obstruction of justice was my offense. Then I launched missiles that I got into distract. But they caught me hanging around her.
It wasn't me.
Even she had denied it.
It wasn't me.
I swear that I'm not a liar.
It wasn't me.
But they said that I tampered.
It wasn't me.
Tripp noticed we got closer.
It wasn't me.
Heard the words that I told her.
It wasn't me.
Accusations turned my turn sour.
It wasn't me.
They impeached me before it was over. Linda Tripp, man, she caught me red-handed, creeping with a young intern. Picture this, she talked with Monica about how I spent time with her. How could she forget that I had made her take in all this time? She was spilling beans, the FBI was listening. Gonna tell Al Gore I'm sorry for the drag that I've caused. This whole scandal made the parties and your campaign cautious. I should tell the country I'm sorry for the pain that I've caused. You may think that I'm a liar, but you're completely lost. That's why I say, Linda Tripp, man, she caught me red-handed, creeping with a young intern. Picture this, she talked with Monica about how I spent time with her. How could she forget that I had made her take in of all this time? She was spilling beans, the FBI was listening.
I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations that were I never told anybody to lie, not a single time. These allegations are false, and I need to go back to work for the American people. Thank you.
Alright, so before getting into the lyrics, I'll just give you a brief rundown of the scandal itself. So the Clinton-Lewinsky scandal was a political sex scandal that occurred in 1995 between 49-year-old President Bill Clinton and 22-year-old White House intern Monica Lewinsky. When allegations began to come out about the scandal, President Clinton basically just turned to denial whenever addressing the event, thus his infamous "I did not have sexual relations with that woman" speech. However, further investigation from the FBI as well as DNA samples on Lewinsky's clothing revealed that he did in fact have sexual relations with that woman. Actions were then taken by the government in charging Clinton with both perjury for lying under oath as well as obstruction of justice for his attempted cover-up. These charges even led to talks of impeachment. However, Clinton walked away from the situation with just a $90,000 fine and a temporary suspension on his license to practice law in the state of Arkansas. This event still displays its impact today, as many Republicans still use it as a weapon to attack the Clinton name, even in this past election with Donald Trump and Bill's wife, Hillary Clinton. Alright, so you see in the first line, Linda Tripp, man, she caught me red-handed, creeping with a young intern. Picture this, she talked with Monica about how I spent time with her. This explains how former U.S. civil servant Linda Tripp recorded what was thought to be private phone calls between her and Lewinsky, where Lewinsky discusses her relations with Bill Clinton, which was used as evidence in the case. Then we follow up with, how could she forget that I made her take an oath, all this time spilling beans the FBI was listening? And this is in reference to the oath of silence that Clinton made Lewinsky take that prevented her from talking about the situation, which played a prominent role in Clinton's obstruction of justice charges in the case. And next you hear, nothing ever happened when she delivered that pizza, yet somehow they still got her in subpoena. So this pizza is talking about how, in one of the trial descriptions, Clinton talks about how for one of the meetings they had, Lewinsky used delivering the president a pizza as an excuse to go see him. Then the mention of the subpoena is in reference to Lewinsky's appearance in the court to discuss the case. And later on, you hear us say, even Hillary said it's a conspiracy. So this is basically just explaining the role that Bill's wife Hillary played in the denial of the situation, where she basically just continued the denial of her husband throughout the trial by either avoiding the press or, as mentioned, just flat-out denial of the event. And we go on to say, but the Supreme Court had failed to convict, instead they ruled me in civil contempt. And this describes how, despite the efforts of impeachment by many officials in the government at this time, the Supreme Court failed to follow through with these actions, as Clinton was ruled to be in civil contempt for failing to adhere with the regulations of the court. And we also mentioned, then I launched missiles at Al-Qaeda to distract, which is in reference to how President Clinton began to pursue terrorist organizations in the Middle East shortly after word of the scandal got out, and many claim that these actions were truly motivated by Clinton's desperate need to shift civilian focus away from the scandal to save his presidency. And then we wrap up the song with, gonna tell Gore that I'm sorry for the drag I've caused. This whole campaign made the parties and your campaign cautious. So this is more about the long-term impact than this. So then we wrap up the song with, gonna tell Gore that I'm sorry for the drag I've caused. This whole campaign made the parties and your campaign cautious. So this is more about the long-term impact that this case had on the credibility of the Democratic Party in the future, which is seen when many Americans hesitated to vote for Democrat Al Gore, who was Clinton's VP, in 2002 as he ran against Republican George W. Bush, simply due to the reputation of the party, which was widely known as Clinton's hangover for the effect that his actions took on the future of the Democratic Party.